Alright, hi everyone, I am Harshil, I am the founder of Dreamno Studios and we build MVPs for founders just like you guys. And today I just wanted to talk about some top SaaS component libraries that I have been using in my workflow. And these are some things that I have collected over a lot of time and a lot of research. And this is something that I have collected over Notion. As you can see, these are some common libraries, and the next is all shared CN based component libraries that I really personally found to be useful. I don't use literally all of them, but I think these are some good libraries to go for. Other than this, I'll also introduce a platform where you can find prompts for each of them. Right. So firstly is Cuckoo CUI. I mean, I don't know. I just call it Cuckoo UI. Right. And here, I mean, a lot of components are in release, but what I really like about it is that they have some pretty good components such as color code or color picker. So they have this very neat UI. I think something I really like is the keyboard one because they have like this very aesthetic one, and you have a micro animation when you press on it as well. So these are some micro components which have like a very premium looking UI, and I love this about them. And right, they have these animations as well. So a lot of components are in the release phase for them, but I think banger component libraries to like add some really high looking UIs. Secondly, from this list was code UI. Now these are some components which are like a bit simpler. They also have framework components. I haven't used it much, but something I have been playing around is 3D Orient. This is something that this is the exact component how I found them. So they have this spinning animation, and I was like just playing around and I found it, and this was the exact component through which I discovered this library. And the good thing is they have like direct terminal installation processes as well, and you can set it up manually as well. So a pretty cool library, right? They have all kinds of components. I have just discovered it from there. Try to play around with that in one of the things, and I have used their pricing component in one of the products that we built for a client, right? Other than that, third one was this variant wall. This has some variants with some animations. So again, this is not something, to be honest, I have used much, but I just really, while I was collecting or making this list, this is something I ran into. I was like, boom, this is something that I would love to play around with. So like if I just play they have some pretty neat animations as well, multi slider, so you can add it onto your website. I really like this one. For example, this is something I'm planning to use in the next version of my Dream Launch website. ठीक है, Lakucho, okay. Yeah, they have some pretty neat component. This is something which I feel is pretty similar to Ace Eternity, but they have similarly neat component you can integrate with some micro animations as well. So I like this one. It has a temperature kind of look, and again a lot of cool things that you can print out. I think something similar to this is also present on Ace Eternity, right? It doesn't have a lot of components, but again something good to play around with when you are just looking for shit to work with. Headless UI, they are not like, they don't make a lot of super banger kind of thing. They have very standardized stuff, but what I like is they have very neat UIs of it with a shadow effect. So I like it. I have used it in some projects, although those were in light mode, but I mean it's a pretty neat library to play around with. Sometimes I struggle with this being in React, so I think I sometimes have struggled with some type issues, but other than that, it's pretty neat. Anima, they have very poppy kind of stuff, so I like them. I haven't used it like crazily. I like their bentos. I think bentos is something they really have. This one is something that really popped to me. This is, although it popped to me, I was like, when I went on to use it in a project, I was like, okay, this is nice, but what do I exactly use it in, right? So I struggle with that, but they still have pretty neat UIs, something you want to play around with. So yeah, this is another banger library that I have found. Other than that is Cult UI. They I don't remember using it much, but they have some good animation UIs as well. Dynamic island buttons, they have a lot of variations as well. So a lot of things to pick around with. Usually component libraries have these into different segmented kind of phases, but what they have done is they have collected it together. What I like is their blocks, right? I think this is something that is paid. Yep, this is paid, but I liked it. Other than that, I think it's mostly buttons. I did like their cards, and this, where was it? Hero section with text over. Yeah, I can find it. Image list preload animated timeline. Yep. This is neat. This is something I was planning to use in my personal portfolio as well. So this is something I had in mind. Next is blocks. Okay, I think it is from this only. Magic UI, I think this is run by, if I am correct, who runs it? I think Dillon, someone by the name of. Okay, I might have mixed it up, but yeah, this is also pretty neat library. This is something I used in one of the projects I delivered. So AI toolkit, right? So this was something I made, and I think I have used it here. Now this is in a vertical view. They had its variation present in various ways as well, right? This vertical. So this is something I had used in that project, and yeah, pretty neat. The good thing is they have a breakdown of props, so I don't have to go literally inside it and work through things. And lastly, we have, I mean, the one and the only OG Eternity. This is something that literally I started following from 2024 when I saw a video by a YouTuber named Hitesh Chaudhary. So they have some pretty amazing components. Something I have played around with is this, right? This is neat. This is how I looked into its code and I made this animation of zoom in and zoom out. This was inspired from Eternity, right? Other than this, there are few components. I have again used their bento is something that I am a fan of. So I did use one of their bentos, this one, in one of the landing page templates that we had worked on. So this is something that I have played around with, right? Other than that, all these other libraries are mostly things that are built on top of shared CN only. So again, origin UI, this has components that are on top of shared CN only. Pund UI, this has components, explore components. They have some good components, playing around with it. I haven't explored this one. Something that I was really fascinated by, it had a yellow logo. I can't find. Yep. Something I was really fascinated by is this launch UI, right? They had some really crazy comp. I was basically fascinated by this meta image that they have, right? This kind of image, which you can see here embedded as well. So I was like, boom, what is this, right? So they have bento grid as well. So they have a very neat UI code. The issue with this library is that you have to pay for it. I didn't pay for it, but you can see they have like some of the really state of art UIs that I have found anywhere. I don't think there is anyone out there who, other than this library, I found that to have. The only downside obviously is that it is paid, but even if it is paid, I think it would be worth the money for someone who's working. We mostly work with MVPs, but other than this, a banger library. Every component that they have this very premium looking UI with like top class finish. Like you will be thinking about it a lot. Everything is under a pro level, which is $99 or a one-time payment of $4.99. But yep, another banger library. If you have the money to spend, you can look into this. I think I mostly love the bento only, but they also have some good components. Although a lot of these components again depend on the images attached working very greatly with them. Other than that, I think Inspira was good. I think these two were not that. Overview, roadmap UI not much. Lacucho had some good component, but we went over this. Launch UI was good. Farm UI, I think they had gradient-ish components. So form field, oh yeah, they had some pretty neat UIs with a nice thing. I don't think they have a lot of stuff. Other than this, so these are some component libraries that I have played around with that I really liked. But now what I usually do is there's a website called 21st.dev. So what this website does is that it is basically a collection of almost all components out there. They even have video samples and everything. And yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy platform. You can like I being a fan of Bento, I can search Bento and they have like some pretty neat UI and they even give credits to every component library. So this is from Eternity, this is from Magic UI, this is from Coconut UI. So they have a very good collection of these things. The good thing that I really like about them is even if I search Bento, I can just go onto a component. Okay, they for this library they have it as installation, but for I think someone they have copy prompt, so you can literally also copy it, right? If I just hit copy prompt, so the prompt is copied. If I paste it somewhere, right? So the good thing is I used it. What it does, it basically, if I zoom in, it provides a task it creates a task which you can integrate. So there have been time where I took this, I literally pasted this in Lovable and it had created a full blown UI. I did have to do some migrations, like for example some things were breaking, or there were places when I wanted something like this component was put in the place that I did not intend for. So there have been these tweaks, but other than this, a Banger library, I think they have started Magic Chat and playing around with MCPs as well. I have just literally used their MCP process today. So it was neat, but I prefer to have things done manually, so that like, because this is something very visual, so I like to go to their website, I literally run the prompt, or I try to migrate things over. I like to have that control. But another Banger library, and I've been collecting all these informations because we have been building MVPs, and as we have realized that building a very high quality front end is something that our clients usually love, and that is what we like to deliver. So yeah, happy to help and hope you guys like this tutorial.